Hi guys, welcome back to my travel corner, and today you've joined me in Havant as I undergo another Battle of the Buses video. So we're here at the bus station of Havant and we're going to go to and from Waterlooville. So I can then put the 37 up against the 39 to see which of those two buses are my favourite. Enjoy this series because it allows me to go around different areas and try out all the different buses, and I never would have thought about that otherwise. Now I've been on both buses before and I'm still yet to come across a conclusion as to which one I like the most. Now this bus behind me apparently is not in service, so we'll soon find out whether or not this becomes a 37 or another bus. We shall find out sooner or later. But either which way you look at it, I will be on the next bus very shortly, and I will make my way into Waterlooville. I see a 22 on this side of me, I see a 31 next to the other bus that's not in service. And it'll be a really interesting thing to look at as well. But join me back in a bit as I get onto that bus and make my way into Waterlooville. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. Just join me at the back of 39 and make my way to Waterlooville. And the first time in this video. But I'm going to Waterlooville quite a lot because sometimes I might do my dad, or I'll do something there and then just have a look around, see what I can do there. And this day is no exception, apart from my dad's already here in Havant, so I would have hoped to have seen him today, but never mind. I guess. But with that, we can just safely say that we're going to Waterlooville just to make another, well, you think I might be making another random video, and you wouldn't be wrong, but it's just a battle of the buses between the 37 and the 39. I'm at the back of the 39, so I'll just have a look at Waterlooville, have a look around, maybe take on a bit of a walk around the area as well, because I think that sounds like an idea. And then go on the 37 and then do something extra in Havant. Although while we're back in Havant, I will then tell you what I find is my most favourite bus out of the 37 and the 39. But join me back in a bit and I will see you in Waterlooville. And we'll just do the first leg of the tour, have a look around some shops. Probably won't be able to film in any of the shops, but I'll be able to come up with some ideas. And then I'll turn those ideas into videos. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me in Waterlooville and I've picked a peculiar time to do this video, haven't I? So I've arrived right in the middle of a whole ton of works. They've removed the hands from the clock house, although they've got that one still going, and it's finally correct to time as well. But the one thing that I've also noticed, if you have a look at here, I've noticed the works in progress have started to lift up the old tram lines. If I show you what I was on about, these metal lines here are a close indication that there used to be a tram network here. and it's really rather interesting how it's all come about. But the line's been lifted, well, not all the lines have been lifted, but the tram network was closed in 1935, and I mentioned that in a railway series I did 4 years ago. And then I definitely need to pay a revisit to that and see if I can find any new information about the railway network itself, particularly since new stations are springing up and opening up what was closed. I didn't know Fiona was at work. The text-to-speech of Fiona, whenever she does that OOO, it sounds like she's a jackhammer in disguise. But I'll be back in a bit, so I'm going to have a look around Waterlooville for a bit, and then I'm going to take you on a little walk around the back. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me back at the precinct, and I picked some of these up. So I've got a tub of Nutella biscuits, and I thought, because I haven't tried them before, that I'll just try them on camera so you get to see my reaction and what I think of them. I do love Nutella chocolate spread. It's made from the same company actually that do Ferrero Rocher, so it's going to be very hazelnutty type. Well, this is interesting. And get a biscuit out. This one is broken. Oh wow. You see? This is why I love Nutella. Oh, that icky goodness. This is what a biscuit should look like. Get 12 in this pack. And I'm just going to try a whole one. It's really tasty. I am actually sat outside of a phone repair doctor, and I see an iMac G3 sat on the side. I want to try one of those on camera. But whether I'll be able to or not, well, that will remain to be known. And there are other questions that I find myself asking as well, in the sense of how far can you go with macOS 10 on one of those? I don't think you can go too far with those. But it's nothing that a bit of research won't solve. Just going to pop the lid back on my Nutella biscuits, if I can. The film lid's getting in the way. Done it. And then I'm going to take you on a bit of a walk. So if you come with me, I'm going to take you down the ramp, and then we'll take you on a bit of a walk, because there's a bit that links this part of the precinct to the other side And now I want to show you that bit. Don't worry, I'm not getting myself lost. Oh wow. Spots a grey cloud lurking about in the sky. Something tells me it might rain. Oh my, oh my. So I just want to make sure that I try not to get too wet, because once again, I come out without a coat. But join me back in a bit and I'll embark on that walk around the other side of Waterlooville. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys, and you've just joined me just as I'm making my way through the tunnel. Just be aware, things might get a bit echoey down here. Woo! Sorry, I couldn't resist. But yeah, things do get a bit echoey down here, and it's really quite a short tunnel that I find myself going under. Now I'm at the other side, and I'll just make my way around the other side of Waterlooville. And with that, after I've done that, I'll then get a 37, make my way back, and then we can carry on with the battle of the buses. But because there are only 2 buses in this route, or should I say, because there are only 2 buses in this video, I thought I'd do a little bit something extra here in Waterlooville. So I went around the Junk Emporium, had a look at some bits there, and I actually saw a freezer which looks brand new. It's not what you'd expect to see in a Junk Emporium, but it also comes into mind that you get some really, they do get that great care has been taken to look after their electrics. I do actually need a proper chest freezer at this point, so I can then store any ideas I've got for experimental corner videos. So I've got some lined up, but try not to get myself too distracted, although I do get very excited at the prospect of any new projects that I might have coming up. I've got over 300 of them written down, and I'm going to try and traverse my way around this lorry. Not often something like this happens. This is, ah dear. Let me get back onto the pavement. There we go. That's that all sorted. And then I'll take you back round here. Now, if I was still at Chaucer Close, I would have gone up that way, and that would have taken me there. That would have practically taken me to Chaucer Close. It would have been one of the exits. So either this exit or the one next to it, which I didn't notice until the tail end of me living at Chaucer Close. But I'm now going to turn left instead of right, and then I will see you back at the precinct bus stop, as I'll be waiting for a 37. See See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just dropped me back at the precinct and I'm now waiting for a 37. So I did things around the opposite way. So normally I'd do my least frequent buses first, so I'd have gotten a 37 first, and then I'd have gotten a 39 afterwards because they're the more frequent of the two buses. And then I thought, you know, I'm just going to get the first bus that came along to the bus station, and that would have been the 39. So that was why I ended up doing that. But the next 37 is due in about just over 5 minutes time. So I think I've timed that quite well. And then was bored on that and make my way back to Havant, and then after I've done that I'll then be able to tell you what's the most favourite of the two routes. But I just want to point out that although I came off at Waterlooville precinct, that the 39s continue on to Wecock Farm, the 37s continue on to Petersfield, and there we go. Just going to go to the back because the 8 is due before the 37, and I don't want to cut in line for the bus that I don't need. Actually, that's the 7 that's just coming up, and I'm assuming the 8 would be behind that, and then the 37 will come afterwards. But join me back in a bit and I'll take you on the back of the 37 and we make our way back into Havant. See you in a bit, guys. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me at the front of the 37, and this is the last of the two buses in the battle of the buses that I'm working on today between Havant and Waterlooville. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the 39s continue on to Wecock Farm, the 37s continue on to Petersfield, and it's very enjoyable, both journeys. And I particularly like this bus because I do sometimes like the idea of going to Petersfield. I've also noticed that the cost of the fuel's starting to come down slowly. So when I came here a little while ago, the cost of diesel was at 194.9 pence per litre. So it was, I didn't think it would have been too long before it crept up to £2. It was incredibly close. And then I went into Romsey when I did the Southampton ticket zone boundary stops. I missed one out because I was so far behind schedule, and that was at 205.9 pence per litre. Then it was the most expensive I've ever seen it. But that's a different story. Making our way back into Havant now, and I will see you in Havant as I then give you my verdict as to which of the two buses I feel is my absolute favourite. See you in a bit, guys, and I will see you in Havant. Welcome back, guys. You've just joined me back at Havant, and I'm just stood outside of one of the entrances to the library. Now, there's not much point in me paying a visit to the library because it's going to be closing in. It is closed. It's Wednesday, so it is closed. And then tomorrow on Thursday it'll close at 1:30. But that's not why I came here. I've just hopped on camera quickly just to tell you what my verdict is of what's my most favourite route out of the 37 and the 39, and I would have to say the 37 because of its history, and there's a richer history of the 37. Originally it used to go down the same route as it did, that the 39 does now. So then you had an extra round, they had a bus stop on the roundabout at Park Parade, and then it only ran to Hazelton Way, certainly when I first boarded the 37, because I've been riding these buses for 20 years now, and yeah, it's easy to spot that. And also there's a bit of it's diverse as well, because it carries on to Petersfield now, and some of them are a guaranteed connection, so they'll turn into a 38 in Petersfield, and that then gives you a continual journey into Alton. Well, I enjoy taking you on this journey and taking you between Havant and Waterlooville, and just be able to give some ideas as to what the buses do and give you my opinion on the favourite of the buses. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.